The ongoing shootings in KwaZulu-Natal have left 5 people dead and 3 others wounded in Tongaat. They were killed in 2 separate incidents that were close to each other. The incidents are believed to be linked to taxi violence, as one survivor was confirmed to be a taxi boss. Now, ActionSA is calling for urgent action to be taken as gun violence spikes in KwaZulu-Natal. For more on this, we're joined by Zwakele Mncwango, the ActionSA leader in KZN. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. You've expressed some concern, especially looking at the close proximity and the timing of both these incidents.
Yeah, no, quite correct. We are really concerned as ActionSA with killings in KZN. But one must say, what is happening recently, or what is in the media, is not really a case isolated to other cases. We have killings every day in KZN, but just very few are reported. That's a problem we are facing. But I think one must look back and say, where is the problem? We don't believe government is serious about fighting crime, especially around the killings in KZN. And why I'm saying that, KZN have a history where we have actually created industry called hitman industry. It's now becoming a career in KZN, where young men are growing up aspiring to be hitmen because there's money there. So the problem is this: when there is a demand, there's always a supply. Now you look at the fundamental principles of economics. It will tell you that where the supply exceeds demand, then the price falls. The problem is this: there's high demand, and also there's also high supply. So with this high supply, then you find that it's cheaper to kill a person. So these guys are able to get money easily. The problem we are facing also is that we have a history of political violence and tax industry in KZN. Now that industry, both political industry and tax industry, created this problem of hitmen in the province. Now it's moving between tax industry, political environment, as also controlled and contracted by business sector, where some businesses are using these hitmen to remove rivals or also to deal with threats. There's a problem we are facing, that this crime is now really organized, and the question is why government is doing nothing about it? Because one can ask the question, what can be the solution? One can say there are few things that government must do. We believe that we need to have a proper search of illegal guns. And I can tell you, Mpo, in KZN, you find someone, a traditional healer, you find a pastor going around with a convoy of bodyguards carrying a big rifle. So you ask yourself, how can people go around on the street with a high caliber of guns? And also, you find that in KZN, ordinary South Africans just walk around with guns, and police will never search. And the question is why police not doing a thorough search and make sure that we remove illegal guns that are in the position of wrong individuals. And also, we need some intervention in terms of supplying resources to police. I can tell you, police of cameras, for example, we know this issue of crime. We know this organized crime of people killing each other in KZN. Example in eThekwini, there are so many killings happening in eThekwini. But look what government is doing there. You've got 499 cameras in eThekwini. I can tell you, Mpo, all 98 working out of 499. 98 only working cameras. Now, can you say this government is serious about fighting crime? I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Now, also, we believe we need to look at decentralizing police, SAPS. There is no use having the national department controlling all provinces. Look at KZN, for example, a community centralizing department. In the budget, 2021 budget, there was allocation of 249 million. But this time around, they decreased the budget to 236 million. So you ask yourself, is this government serious about fighting crime?
Do you think, if you'll allow me to interrupt you, Mr. Mncwango, do you think that perhaps KZN is a province that might be more tolerant than other provinces when serving justice? Could KZN also be a province more prone to defeating the ends of justice?
Yeah, it is. Truth of the matter is most of these killings happen in KZN. And if you look around also, even hitmen that are arrested in other provinces, if you follow the cases, you will find most of them are from KZN. Hence, I'm saying you also need those interventions, for example, with the proper working crime intelligence. Now, you look where most of these guys are coming from. You'll count places like hostels in Durban. You look at Ladysmith, Umnambiti. You look at Nongoma. You look at Umsinga, in Mutu. So those are few areas where most hitmen come from. And you look at the history of those who have been arrested. They come from these areas. Now the question is, why can't you just go and execute to these areas and make sure that you remove these illegal guns? Because clearly you know where the problem is. So we believe that government can do something about this crime. But the problem is, as I said, there is this supply, huge supply of hitmen in the province. And now it's easy to take someone's life. But also, most of these hitmen, as I said, they are contracted by taxi industry and by politicians. Because some politicians are actually having these hitmen as their own bodyguards. You see someone walking around with bodyguard, but the same bodyguard at night, they are hitmen. So that's a problem we are facing, that we need some ethical leaders in this province who can really say, how can we unite as a province to fight this problem we are facing? Because it becomes so easy to kill someone in KZN than in other provinces. And as I said, these cases are reported to the media only if it's kind of classified as a high-profile case. But the problem is, life matters for everyone. Everyone has a right to life. Now, you can't start to say this case is now a high-profile than the other. Hence, I'm saying there's so many killings happening in KwaZulu-Natal, and something must be done. We need proper solutions. And those solutions include having decentralizing police where provinces have full control over police services, not having one minister who walk around being a clown. We need police minister or MECs who have power, because I can tell right now, the MEC in the province for civil security have no power over police. So what's the use? Because he can't even command police. The only thing he can do is you work with communities, but he can't really work with SAPS. So that's why I'm saying it's important to centralize police, have control in the province.
Yeah, because, I mean, what you're essentially speaking to here is a problem that's going around in circles. I mean, you've said that some of the violent behavior may have been mimicked intergenerationally, which speaks to a problem that keeps going round and round in circles. And surely at this stage, with a maturing democracy, one would have thought that people would be feeling safer. We also know that as Police Minister Zwakele unveiled the crime stats for the October-December 2022 period, KZN has been labelled the country's assassination capital. And all the factors that you're speaking to really speaks to some urgency, like an urgent plan is needed to address this increasing violence in KZN.
Yeah, indeed, we need urgent intervention. But I must say also, we moved away from a party intolerance. We are now dealing with intra-party intolerance, because most of political killings are within political parties. So it's rare now you find that someone from the IP or DA or ANC will be fighting and end up killing each other. But you'll find that members of one political party kill each other for the issue of positions, and also the issue of power, where you find even officials get killed because maybe they are having information or blocking someone from getting a tender, or someone is exposing corruption. So this is where we are at a moment. However, we are still dealing with the past, where there's this element where we have this supply of hitmen that are still looming around. And some of these hitmen are even used by senior individuals, where you find someone is arrested in prison, but is able to come out of prison and commit crime and get taken back. Those are the things that are happening in KZN. And it's a serious issue. So say, how do you deal with the issue of killing the industry? Because we must make sure that we kill the hitman industry in KZN, so that we also make sure that there is no supply. But also, how do we handle the issue of illegal firearms? Because we do have a lot of illegal firearms in this province.
Very well. Thank you so much. Thanks for weighing in on this conversation. Zwakele Mncwango, ActionSA leader in KZN, speaking to the increase in gun violence in KZN.